Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So, over the last couple of days, I've spent my time debunking a lot of the nonsense that's been coming out of the left, specifically this delusion, this copium that Harry Sisson and the rest of these leftist propagandists have been pushing. This idea that Donald Trump's first 2 weeks in office have been a complete disaster. They're trying to rewrite very recent history using that Democrat strategy of telling the people, don't believe your lying eyes. Trump's getting win after win after win, but these clowns are somehow trying to spin the whole thing into a negative, mostly on the slight increase of egg prices in the first 8 days of Trump's administration following a bird flu epidemic. They're trying to say that Donald Trump's destroying Washington, when in reality, Trump walked into office and took one look at the flaming dumpster that Biden left behind, and he said, holy frickin' moly, we are fixing this now. And that's exactly what he's managing to accomplish in record speed. This is what the left can't handle. This is what they're trying so hard to pretend isn't happening, but it is. And now the Trump administration is, let's just say, clearing up the confusion a little bit. Let me show you their respond to the naysayers, and then of course let me chime in as I always do. We got some stuff to get into, or more importantly, we got a record to correct, so let's roll the tape. Okay, folks, so let's go through the cold, hard facts by starting off with this official White House recap from Caroline Leavitt. Take a look.
We are 2 weeks in, and President Trump is already delivering big wins for the American people. Let's go through the facts. On the border, President Trump declared a national emergency, deployed the military, ended catch and release, and reinstated Remain in Mexico. And already, illegal crossings are down 95%. We are resuming construction of the border wall, and Colombia's president is now offering his own plane for deportation of illegal Colombian immigrants. On the economy and energy, President Trump unleashed American energy, declared a national energy emergency, and killed Joe Biden's radical electric vehicle mandate. Wall Street is booming, AI investments skyrocketed to $500 billion, and there's $20 billion flowing into U.S. data centers across our country. President Trump is restoring law and order. He labeled the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and he is deporting criminal illegal aliens, and he signed the Laken Riley Act into law. Draining the swamp, President Trump signed more than 45 executive orders. DEI has been purged from the government and our military, and lazy federal workers have been ordered back to the office. And when it comes to free speech and transparency, President Trump took 12 times more press questions than Joe Biden did in a week, reinstated 440 silenced journalists to the press room, and ended government censorship. Promises made, promises kept, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, the left is trying to pretend as if you should be ashamed of everything that's going on. I've even seen some propaganda, some fake Republicans, most likely being paid or just leftist operatives acting like fake Republicans, claiming that they regret voting for Donald Trump. Oh, it's turned into such a disaster. But Trump supporters shouldn't be ashamed right now. You shouldn't be regretting your vote. You should be doing a victory lap. It's funny, the narrative is that you should be ashamed. Oh, it's such a failure. It's such a disaster. But in the first 2 weeks, Trump's press secretary is spitfiring more accomplishments than Joe Biden had in 4 freaking years. Not only is this administration winning, but they're winning bigly. And we're talking about real, tangible stuff. On day one, Trump declared the border crisis a national emergency, deployed the military, declared the cartels as terrorists, reinstated Remain in Mexico, the border's getting locked down, and it turns out that the problem wasn't as complex or expensive as leftists were harping on about. It turns out also that Donald Trump wasn't the reason why the border was insecure because he spiked their supposed border security bill. No, quite the opposite, in fact. As now Trump comes in, and with the signing of a pen, basically again exactly what the leftoids told you was impossible, he tackled the crisis almost immediately. And now illegal crossings are down 95% and the border wall construction is back on track. Democrats spent years pretending that walls don't work, but they know walls work. They're living behind them at their freaking gated mansions. But now I guess we have confirmation that walls do work. And why do walls work? Well, because they send a message. And that's really what's been missing this entire time. Messaging. That's what Democrats got wrong. And that's clearly what Donald Trump got right. He set the standard for what will happen if you cross the border illegally. And when the President of the United States speaks, everybody listens. People are at attention. That was kind of the issue the last time. The President of the United States, well, he couldn't freaking speak.
Women are not without electoral.
Boy, oh boy. Apparently that was winning. Yeah, we were winning with Joe Biden, and now we're losing. Yeah, right. We're winning so much and we're winning so hard, it's almost unbelievable. I mean, case in point, what happened with the Colombian president? The Colombian presidente at one point told Donald Trump to F off, essentially, that he wouldn't be accepting illegal Colombian migrants back. And how long did that last? 30 minutes? Not only did Donald Trump win, but again, he won so frickin' bigly that the Colombian president offered their presidential jet to deport their own citizens from the United States. I mean, imagine getting BTFO'd that hard. I mean, it's crazy how much can be done with a president who's willing to put his foot down. And that's really been the story here. You know, finally, a president playing hardball, a president showing real, true leadership. You know, it's really simple. I could go on this academic sounding monologue, but at the end of the day, what's really happening here, the reason things are moving so fast is because the president isn't effing around. And that's the new standard. That's why things are moving fast. That's why the era of sanctuary cities is over. Again, because of messaging. The message is being sent. After far-left New Jersey Governor Chris Murphy tried to push the sanctuary city resistance shtick, claiming he was harboring an illegal migrant and taunting ICE to come get her, what was the Trump administration's response?
Let me read a headline to you. Chicago leaders encourage residents to exercise their rights in resisting Trump's deportation policies. The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, basically admitted that he knew somebody that didn't have full documentation, that he was hiding over his garage.
But there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Your comment on all of that?
I think the governor's pretty foolish saying what he said, because I got note of it. Won't let it go. We'll look into it. And if he's knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien, that's a violation of Title 8 United States Code 1324. I would seek prosecution, or the secretary would seek prosecution. So maybe he's bluffing. If he's not, we'll deal with that. And as far as suing sanctuary cities, well, get in line, because the Trump administration is going to do that already. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. There's one example. Sanctuary cities in New York City. If they would have gave us over the killer of Laken Riley, when he got arrested in New York City for endangering a child, he would have been in jail. And he would have never killed Laken Riley. Sanctuary cities are responsible for deaths of thousands of young children throughout my career. And we're going to sue them. We're going to hold them. And look, if he's got to go to the Supreme Court, that's what President Trump wanted to do. He will end sanctuary cities.
Essentially, the response was, well, I hope you enjoy federal prison. And so obviously, Chris Murphy's going to fold in like 2 seconds, just like Justin Trudeau did. You know, it's no wonder the wins are stacking up. Finally, America has a president for the first time in 4 years. Things are happening, one after another, as Donald Trump gets rid of all these toxic Biden regulations that were stopping the nation from moving forward and causing horrible crises. It's not just the border, it's also Biden's regulations that were impeding economic growth and investment in crucial American industries. American energy is about to be unleashed as Donald Trump says goodbye to the EV cult mandates and the rest of this self-sabotaging agenda. Donald Trump again is sending a message worldwide saying we're back in business. No longer are we going to enact these policies where we essentially shoot ourselves in the foot. And what happened? Instantly, we saw a $500 billion AI investment from Masayoshi Son. The biggest companies on earth are betting on America again. When the previous administrations always went on and on about how industry is never going to come back, they gave up before even trying. Instead of focusing on making the nation more prosperous, what were they focused on? They were focused on cultural Marxism, gender quotas, DEI, essentially state-based discrimination. In other words, the elusive systemic racism that leftists were always going on about. They could just never really put their finger on it, I guess because they never realized they were the ones implementing it. And now that's another massive victory, another massive accomplishment under Trump's belt. Again, basically on day one, DEI has been purged from government and military. No more taxpayer-funded diversity discrimination programs. Competence is back in charge, back to a meritocratic system. And now the cherry on top of all of it, the bureaucrat purge that's currently going on. Again, it's not just DEI programs, it's also wasteful government spending and U.S. aid, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We also saw what Jen Psaki referred to as an unprecedented purge of the FBI. Trump's tackling the political rot of the justice system hopefully setting the stage for restoring faith in American agencies. And most importantly, and their most recent accomplishment, is bringing back transparency. They're exposing all the taxpayer slush funds and saying enough is enough. And it goes beyond just highlighting what's going on with all the misuse of taxpayer funds in US aid, as they're also holding federal workers accountable, saying get back in the office. No more sitting at home watching Netflix while you collect taxpayer money. Get back to work. If you work for the American people, you must be transparent. You must show up at the office. We need to know that you're actually providing value and services for the American people if you're going to collect American taxpayer dollars. It's just win after win after win. They keep piling up. These are accomplishments. This is what the people wanted. It's what they voted for. And they didn't have to wait till Donald Trump's re-election bid to get a signal that he might do something about it. He promised he was going to do these things. He said that it would be easy to do these things and that all it took was just a little bit of initiative. I mean, just get off your freaking behind, get out the damn basement and do your job. And he was right, and he's delivering basically on day one. And that's something the left clearly can handle, and they're obviously trying to diminish and distract from. But we're not going to let Democrats rewrite history with their bogus narratives now, are we? Donald Trump's presidency has already been an unprecedented success with no disaster in sight, despite what the genius political analysts like Harry Sisson are saying. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.